new coffee video. So today I'm going to share my favorite iced coffee recipes because this is a highly requested topic on this channel. The first iced coffee that I'm going to share with you is the first iced coffee recipe I ever tried. This is the humble Nescafé Frappe. This coffee was first introduced by accident at the Thessaloniki Coffee Festival by Nescafé employee who used a shaker to make this iced coffee. He didn't have hot water, so he used cold water, sugar, Nescafé, and some ice in a shaker, and the result has been super delicious, and a lot of countries still make this recipe until today. This coffee is a bit strong and sweet. Traditionally, it doesn't use any milk, but you can add if you find the flavor too bitter, or you can also adjust the recipe with more sugar if that's what you prefer. So I'm going to add 2 Nescafé, the classic version. So I usually get this Nescafé sachet from hotels, and to this we're going to add 2 sachets of sugar. You can use any type of sugar. It can be powdered sugar, it would dissolve easier, but we're just using regular white sugar. And to this I'm going to add some room temperature water. Cold water is fine, the Nescafé will dissolve, I promise you. Yeah, just a little bit. So that's about 1 shot of coffee. So the secret in this recipe is the foam, because as the coffee melts and through this friction, the oils from the coffee get released and the flavor actually changes. This is how the shaken coffee looks like once it's done. Do you see the volume of that coffee? There's no sugar left, there's no heartbeat. As much ice as needed. So that's about the volume of this coffee. Do you see the foam? Yeah, I highly recommend it. It's super easy to make. The original ice shaken coffee. So the next iced coffee recipe is not using any ice cubes. This recipe was requested by a subscriber who mentioned that in their country, when you say iced coffee, you're going to get coffee with ice cream and not coffee with ice cubes. And for this recipe, I'm also going to need some whipped cream, which I don't have. What I'm using today is coconut cream. So it's not coconut milk, it's coconut cream. This one, it has a higher fat percentage and is more thick, and it actually has a consistency of the whipped cream, but it also has a bit of a sweet, coconutty, exotic flavor, which really goes well with iced coffee. I don't recommend using coconut milk, as milk may tend to have a bit of a sourish aftertaste. Recipe, traditionally they use a type of brew coffee, but I'm going to use Nespresso's coconut vanilla pod since it's in season. So this one goes directly under my Nespresso, and we're going to put a shot of espresso on top of it. So the idea is for the espresso coffee to melt this ice cream and create a really nice creamy coffee. If you'd like a full glass, you can actually double up the measurements, but this one is equally as delicious. This could be my new coffee favorite, I'm not gonna lie. Here I've added a clip though to show you how this looks in a bigger glass, where I decorated with some chocolate sauce. So the next 2 recipes are quite similar except for one difference. One is sweetened and one is not. So next we're going to make a traditional iced cafe latte. This version doesn't have any sugar, it just has milk, ice and coffee. So I'm going to show you how I make it. Choose coffee pots that are either designed for ice, coffee over ice, or you can choose something that it has high acidity. Today I'm also using the pistachio one, which is specifically made for ice. So here we're frothing some cold milk. This is optional, but I feel it gives it a better flavor and also looks nicer in the glass. For ice cubes, 100 milliliter of cold milk goes right in. It should be about 3/4 of cup. If you want to make it sweetened, I'll show you the next recipe. There's a different way of doing it. We're not going to follow this method. Why? Because if you add sugar, it's going to stick to the bottom and it will not dissolve in cold milk and in cold, especially since we have this ice situation here. Here we have the beautiful layered iced coffee, or so-called iced latte. The ratio is perfect for this coffee machine. This is my version of iced latte. Delicious. It really doesn't need any more sweetness. Now for the final recipe of this video, I'm going to show you a sweetened iced latte. So this one is different because we are going to use a mixing glass. The mixing glass method means we're going to brew the coffee hot into a separate glass, and we're going to add either granulated sugar or any sweet sauce like the sweetened condensed milk, or a caramel sauce, or a caramel syrup, or a chocolate sauce. So this method works well because in the hot coffee you're going to be melting the sweet sauces and they're going to give you a balanced cup of coffee. If you'd like to see my method, come, I'll show you how to do it. I'm going to use the Nespresso Kazar, which is one of the darkest pods, one of my favorite, and I specifically like this for iced coffee because of its high Robusta content. So this will help make a coffee that tastes super caramelly, intense, rich, full body, and almost similar to the Vietnamese style coffee. So we are brewing hot coffee, 2 shots. Now straight on top of this we're adding some sweetened condensed milk. If you were to add this in a glass with ice, I tell you it will not melt. So since I added 2 shots of coffee, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of this sweetened condensed milk. Here's our glass with ice. Coffee. Look at that. Yummy. And these are my top 4 favorite iced coffee recipes that I feel they're very easy and accessible to anyone to make. I hope you try them and let me know if these measurements have helped you. So if you made it until the end, thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Bye!